Well, there's nothing like some brand new vinyl to set the day off right, and this Dio set is pretty damn awesome. Let's take a look, shall we? Welcome classic rock fans to an unboxing. If you're new to this channel, please do click like, subscribe and check that notification bell, especially if you're a fan of the unboxing of stuff prior to its official release. Check some of the links below this video for ways you can support the sterling work done at Classic Album Review. It's always much appreciated. Become a Patron, why not? There's a fine body of work on there now. We're building a real classic rock community over there. So what we're talking about today is this Monolith Dio, the complete albums box, 1983 to 1993. These are strictly limited edition. How limited, I don't know, but and if you want these Dio albums on vinyl collated together in this one wonderful box, you need to get your order in pronto, I think. There was a purchasing link just below this video. Anyway, let's get the cellophane off it and take a look, shall we? So here is the label, albeit slightly creased or torn at the end. It says Dio, the complete albums box, 1983 to 1993, limited edition 9LP set containing Holy Diver, best album ever, Last in Line, another Dio classic, Sacred Heart, Intermission, Dream Evil, Lock Up the Wolves, and Strange Highways. Faithfully reproduced vinyl editions of some of the greatest rock albums of all time, housed for the first time in one box. Doesn't say whether these have been remastered or anything like that, but I think these have all been remastered recently anyway, so I presume that's what we get on this in this vinyl set. So it's a nice sturdy box, beautiful artwork there that really kind of is quite striking. Nice matte finish. There are the albums on the back. And there's the spine. The first one is the wonderful, wonderful Holy Diver album. Beautiful reproduction of the artwork, just as I remember it, to be honest with you. Faithful reproduction of these albums, including the inside sleeve. That's the rear of the album, Holy Diver, the inside sleeve. There we are. Gosh, I remember this coming out. Unfortunately, they're not polyline sleeves, which is a shame. I always like vinyl to be in polyline sleeves. It shows some respect for the product. But these are not in polyline sleeves. And there's the lovely Vertigo label for Holy Diver. And the next one is this fabulous, The Last in Line. Bought this when it came out. The title track is just absolutely awesome. So there we go. Again, beautifully produced artwork, matte finish. That's the rear. Sorry about the light reflecting in that. And we get the inside sleeve, which is exactly as I remember it. Never saw Ronnie James Dio. It's always the biggest regret of mine. I never saw him. But there you go. That's the other side. And here we have the wonderful medieval looking sleeve that is Sacred Heart. Wow, why this guy ever had to leave Rainbow, I don't know. I suspect probably had something to do with Richie Blackmore, I guess. Which is why a lot of bands seem to break up. Beautiful sleeve, and the inside sleeve is, again, these are faithful reproductions. And the vinyl, I think they're all on the Vertigo label, aren't they? The nice Dio logo, with a nice Dio logo there, quite prominent. That's the rear. Next one is Intermission. I don't know this album, to be honest with you. I think I lost track with Dio after Sacred Heart. I have no idea if this is a good album or not. You tell me. I love the Vertigo swirl thing there. Again, beautiful reproduction of the artwork. Nice, thick, matte sleeves. And an inside sleeve, which is reminiscent of the original. Again, I'll repeat, these are not in polyline sleeves. I would have preferred them to be in polyline sleeves, although it's not in keeping with how the original albums were released. nevertheless, considering the price of vinyl these days. And here we have the wonderful Dream Evil album, wonderful in terms of the artwork at least. Again, it's not an album that I'm familiar with Dio. I just kind of lost track with him really. That's the rear. The inside sleeves. That's the wonderful label of that. There we go. And here's Lock Up the Wolves. I've heard lots of great things about this album, although I'm not that familiar with it at all. But this is a double album as well, so it's a nice thick sleeve. There's the spine. Again, all the print is very prominent, although that doesn't show up very well, I think. So here's the first one. And here's the second vinyl. And here we have the very striking Strange Highways. Beautiful artwork. Again, this was another double album from Dio. Here's the wonderful first inside sleeve. Here's the label. Look at that fabulously produced Vertigo Swirl label there. That's worth the money alone, I think, just for that. Looks great on your turntable. And here's the second vinyl. Isn't that fab? Nice and swirly. So here we are, Dio, the complete albums from 1983 to 1993. These are collated together for the first time on vinyl in one beautiful box like this, and they are strictly limited edition. So you want to get your order in quickly. Don't be last in line. See what I did there? Anyway, there is a purchasing link just below this video, so do go and check this out, see if it's something you might want to add to your collection. This will be released on the 28th of March, which is in 2 days' time. So get your order in quick, I think. So I'll just leave you with my closing salvo, which is hope you're well, staying safe, and of course that you keep listening.